Y'all, let's talk about God, specifically Jesus. If you ask me how I'm currently doing with that, I would say I'm struggling. And like a lot. Unfortunately. Now that is the life of someone who is trying to follow him, but it's not just sins, you know. It's also taking the time to actually, read the word of God. Is actually taking the time to talk to him. And the biggest reasons why I have a struggle with that is because I'm really stressing, and I'm trying to always focus on what I'm trying to do for the future. That includes thinking of ideas for content, actually making the content, workouts, steps, staying on my the diet and things like that. And I constantly have these things on my mind, trying my best to not let them um, go without effort, or just trying to stay consistent and all of that. And then it's like, when do I take the time to talk to God? When do I take the time to actually read some of it? And it's really frustrating because the biggest problems I have is that not even well, it is also sinning, but this is something that, like, obviously is more fixable. Sometimes you just kind of can't help it but sin. But talking to God, like, truthfully, it's something you can always find time for. And it's not like it takes me the whole day and the whole night to, uh, do the things I mentioned. I do spend time on scrolling, just kind of doing absolutely nothing important. So I should take that time instead to go read or something like that at least, and I just don't. And it's hard. Even one chapter a day is for some reasons hard. But the hardest part of all of that is what? Just sitting down and opening the Bible. And here's the thing, for a while I did not have a physical copy. So all I did was sometimes on walks, or if I'm doing something, I would put on an audiobook. Cool. But now I have a physical copy that I also wanted, and yet look what's happening. I don't do it anyway. And it stresses me out because I know I should, but there's also something I want to mention. This wave of social media where it's like, spreading the gospel and things like that. There are content creators who may just be interested in the topic, but they take it way too seriously. It's like we are making this thing so complicated. We're making things seem like you have to know this and that, you have to understand this, or else you're like a false Christian or something like that, which is like stupid. People lose their own minds over this shit and spread it on others, and wonder why people stay away from Christianity as a whole. Especially when it comes down to talking about different denominations, whether you're Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant, evangelicals, whatever it is, non-denominational. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that shit. that becomes a problem. Now, there may be enough truth to like which denomination is the correct one, and sure, but but when we're getting to a point where we are starting to really insist that this is right and this is wrong, and if you claim to be a Christian, and if you do all these things that a typical Christian does, but you're not Catholic or whatever, that something is wrong. It's like, I doubt that so fucking much. I am willing to bet a lot of money on that this shit doesn't even matter. And I don't even care enough to research this shit by myself anymore, because what is the point of following Jesus then? We're arguing about denominations, what the different interpretations could possibly mean in the Bible, whether it is correct to act this way or another. It used to be simple and straightforward. Now we are acting like every single minute detail that you think of or you do absolutely matters, or else it's just wrong. No. And so in my life, look at where I put my attention to on what struggles, sinning and failing to talk to God. But what does social media talk about? A lot of it is becoming guilt tripping. It's like, stop scrolling, or like, if you're a Christian, you can scroll, but this and that happens, and God knows if you're, honest, or if you're a good. Like, we're just talking for what? For views? So, if you're a Christian who's also struggling with faith, I highly recommend staying off social media. There are great people who just kind of catch you scrolling and read some gospel and pray for you or something. That's great. But that's as much as we should do. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's worth the stress and the misinformation to talk about more details if it means that a lot of people will end up turning away from God completely. That said, let's go back to what I was trying to say in the beginning. Sometimes I get really annoyed by how I get distracted while reading. I get annoyed by just kind of the smaller actions I do throughout the day that just kind of show that maybe I'm just not locked in. Maybe I just don't care enough about my faith to actually take the time and invest in my faith. Even though I know that if I end up turning away, which I'm sure won't happen, all of this content stuff, it won't matter. Even if I still end up succeeding, what is that success gonna look like? Okay, now I achieved what I wanted, but where is my faith? It's gone. I am not safe anymore. I'm cooked. Where is my soul? Where did it go? You know what I mean? I don't want that to happen, but like, I don't know what is the threshold, and I don't know what God thinks of it. I don't know how much is right and how much is wrong. I don't know how much I really need to put in the effort. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have any answers. And it's so annoying because this is the one thing that should bring me peace, and yet it stresses me out. And that's That's so annoying. That's actually so unfortunate. I'm already living in a place where I just can't escape stressful situations for the life of me. And then, again, the one thing that's supposed to bring me peace is not bringing me peace. Now, it's partly my fault, yes, by failing to do certain things. But it can't be that hard, can it? Like, I'm not the person who's getting constantly followed and persecuted and threatened and whatever for believing in Jesus. So why is this so, stressful, even though nothing really dramatic is happening? I don't know what else to say. I'm just confused right now. God bless. Peace.